Today, we're looking at the MAXXI, an Italian museum in Rome's Flaminio Quarter dedicated to 21st century art and architecture.
This beautiful museum was made by Iraqi architect Zaha Hadid between 1998 and 2009.
Hadid used glass, concrete, and steel to create a weightless facade and flowing curves.
The building was commissioned by the Italian Ministry of Heritage to be the National Center for Contemporary Art and Architecture in a competition for the best design.
Out of 273 candidates, Hadid was selected to be built on top of former military barracks.
The museum was commissioned to be a contemporary art museum as well as an architectural museum.
Hadid is famous for her curving and elongated buildings out of seemingly impossible materials like steel and concrete, as seen in the Guangzhou Opera House in China, the Haydar Aliyev Center from Azerbaijan, and 1000 Museum Miami, which all embody her trademark style.
The architect got much of the inspiration for these curves from Islamic art and constructivism. The curves of the walls can be compared to experiments Russian painters did with flowing geometric shapes. The curves are also comparable to curves on minarets in mosques, like the Mosque of Samarra.
Not only that, but the building draws many similarities to international style of architects like Le Corbusier. The use of overhangs and the unbreaking concrete exterior give the building similar feelings to the international style, such as the cantilever designs of falling water.
The curving stairs and paths were also inspired by flowing rivers, with larger paths that served as main galleries, alluding to deltas, and small paths that are like small rivers that connect the main galleries.
In the entire space, there is a contrast between the flowing walkways and the geometric and rectangular grids that we walk on.
Since the museum was the first Italian architectural museum, the building reflects the history of Italy. The use of concrete throws back to the Romans, who perfected the use of it, and the curving walls that recall Roman innovation of arches.
You're right, Ridley. The museum shows the theme of images of identity by reflecting the cultural history of Rome and tying it into the building. The use of concrete also ties into the theme of materials and their symbolic importance.
The building really deserves to be in the art history catalog due to its innovation of modern museums.
Art museums in the past were often repurposed like the Louvre and were not art in their own right.
But modern museums are different. With its unique curves and ties to Roman history, the MAXXI is a work of art in its own right.
Yes, the MAXXI breaks away from the historical museums of the past that had buildings that looked like palaces and had not been the focus of the art world.
Not only that, but this museum seems to be almost a summary of aspects of architectural movements that came before it, with the Islamic-inspired curves, cantilevers of international style, constructivist curving geometric shapes, and the use of concrete that recalls Roman history. The MAXXI serves as a nice, final piece of architecture in the AP Art History curriculum.
By showing us past styles of architecture while also housing contemporary architectural ideas, the MAXXI allows us to think about the past and present of architecture and what the future might hold.
And in this way, the MAXXI reflects newer, modern museums like the Guggenheim that do more than house art. They reflect the culture of the place that it was made. But more than that, it allows us to reflect on the history of architecture and its continuity and change with both the building and the exhibits.